Secretary of State John Kerry said today the evidence is screaming at us that chemical weapons were used in Syria, and he said President Obama believes there must be accountability. It is the latest sign that the administration is preparing a military strike against the Assad regime. Kerry said that he had looked again at the pictures that we all saw last week of the victims of the attack, many of them children, and he can't get them out of his head. Here is some of what the Secretary had to say.
What we saw in Syria last week should shock the conscience of the world. It defies any code of morality. Let me be clear. The indiscriminate slaughter of civilians, the killing of women and children and innocent bystanders by chemical weapons is a moral obscenity. By any standard, it is inexcusable, and despite the excuses and equivocations that some have manufactured, it is undeniable.
We asked David Martin at the Pentagon to tell us more about the military options.
The words Secretary of State Kerry used and the force with which he delivered them left little doubt the U.S. will soon strike Syria.
President Obama believes there must be accountability for those who would use the world's most heinous weapons against the world's most vulnerable people.
4 U.S. Navy warships are already in position in the eastern Mediterranean, ready to launch cruise missiles within hours of receiving the order from President Obama. A British submarine is also reported to be in position. They would almost certainly fire their weapons in the middle of the night, the time when the U.S. military prefers to strike and when most civilians would be off the streets and less likely to be injured. An attack limited to cruise missiles would fall well short of the shock and awe campaign on the opening night of the Iraq War. But officials said it would be large enough to damage the Syrian military's ability to launch future chemical weapons attacks. The U.S. has a huge military advantage, so there is little doubt cruise missiles could destroy targets ranging from command centers to launchers used to fire chemical weapons.
President Obama wants to send a message about the consequences of using chemical weapons, but the Syrian regime is playing for much bigger stakes than that. It is fighting for its life.
David, thanks very much.